Chapter 3, The Invisible Will. The foundation of poverty, culture of poverty in sociological terms, has its roots, of course, in the familial lineage of each individual race. In the Black community, poverty is a result of the system of slavery and Jim Crow. But this is not a history book, and I will not delve into slavery and begin a discussion on the welfare state, because this is not the purpose here. But you cannot truly tackle the problem of poverty without realizing that it has roots in your family tree and might as well have its own branch or two. Typically, a family that is impoverished has inherited poor financial skills from the previous generation. If a parent has lived paycheck to paycheck, then their children will live paycheck to paycheck and see this as the only way to live. Unless there is a drastic change in the thought process of the second generation, then there is an invisible will that is left behind. The invisible will / contract is imprinted in the psyche of the next generation. The language of the will reads as such: in the event of my death, I hereby leave to my children a history of struggle, debt, and my copy of good times. And that's not even a joke. The history of struggle consists of mental images of mom and dad sitting at the table trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Now that's for my generation. The new generation, it's mom and dad sitting in front of a computer telling you to hold on so they can look and see what they can pay. It also consists, the history of struggle, of mom and dad telling you these words: no, we can't afford that. We're not rich. Money doesn't grow on trees. These verbal and mental images are then transferred to the child, and the invisible will is passed on and on and on. What is interesting is that a simple change in the way a parent addresses money with their children can begin the process of breaking the invisible contract. What is often done with kids in a family without money is that the parent will allow the child to, 1, learn about finances on their own. 2, think that there will always be a never-ending stream of bills. 3, think that money is only attainable through jobs that you really don't want and that you will work until you die to be successful. 4, parents also show kids that things are more important than family. We're going to discuss that later. So here lies the death of the invisible contract. This is how you kill it. 1, if you're a parent or will be a parent, learn to use, so simple, varying phrases to discuss finances with your child. Don't hide the financial problems from them. If they ask, explain. We actually are working on a budget, and that purchase is not planned right now. If your child asks when it will be planned and what is a budget, explain it to them. And then tell them this: since we can't buy that for you, that doesn't mean that we don't want to. Rather than just give you things that you think you want, how about we go to the zoo next week? By allowing the child to understand that you can't purchase things that aren't planned, You are teaching the child about being organized. One of the primary things that placed you, the parent, into a financial bind was your parent saying, this is grown folks' business. If you use bill paying as a teaching experience, then it will allow you to face the problem head on while allowing your child to lose their fear of money. They also lose the process of thinking money is the most important thing in their lives. 2, I know that was long. Another way for you to get rid of that invisible will. Let your child know that although the extra expenses are stopping some of the fun, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and that there is always an alternative source of fun. Here's an example. Our son, he loves paper towel cardboard rolls. While to anyone else this seems cheap and crass, to a kid, the simplest toy can create hours of joy. And a cardboard paper towel roll isn't even a toy, it's simply a cardboard paper towel roll. But we keep the paper towel rolls and we use them to make swords. We then go outside and sword fight. By doing this, we spend time with him, and instead of being frustrated by bill collectors and bills, we get to experience being a kid again and get away from the problems. The child gets to witness an adult who understands the importance of imagination. These are also moments of inspiration where your great idea could show up. 3, begin talking with your child about jobs and what they may want to do in life. As the child begins to learn more about jobs and witnesses what you do, they will see if you like or dislike your job. They will begin to learn about job satisfaction. While these suggestions seem small, we're just getting started. They're not small. The invisible will is not a tiny thing. It's a cloud, and it covers everything. The invisible will is a legally binding document with sadness. And if you don't realize that it exists and that you have to break the contract, it can destroy you. Don't allow your family curse, whether it is slavery, racism, sexism, divorce, whatever, to make you the executor and writer of the same contract with the next generation.